Hey family, it's Tracy. Hi. I am back for yet another vlog. It is Friday, August 29th, 2014. It's a long holiday weekend, Labor Day weekend. So I hope if anyone sees this in 2014, you do get a chance to go out and enjoy yourself this weekend. As I say in almost every video, I am making these vlogs for my children to share with their children and hopefully even my great-grandchildren if I'm not around. So today I am going to talk about dating and relationships. So I think I've touched on these a little bit in some of my other blogs. It always, relationships and always comes into play when you're talking about different things, but specifically, with regards to my views on dating. So with regards to dating, dating in 2014 is a lot different than it was like in the 1940s and 50s, where back then, which I so wish that we did, more young people did today. I think now older people who have maybe been in long-term relationships or marriages and have gotten out of them are doing it more today. Whereas in the 50s they started out young doing this. But basically, dating involved not just, hey, I like you, you like me, let's be girlfriend and boyfriend, okay, we're dating. That's how it is now, I think, more so with young people. Whereas back then, in the 40s and 50s, dating involved going out with multiple people, where, I liken it to, you go into a shoe store and you see all these different pair of shoes that you like, so you try them all on until you find the pair that you like the best and you buy them. And that's kind of how dating was back then, where you boys and girls or young women and men met different women and men that they liked, and it was multiple, and they go out on dates and get to know them and go on, might date Bob on Monday and John on Tuesday and Dan on Wednesday, and just go out to different things, get to know a little bit about them and figure out who you like the most and who you like to pursue something further with. And that's kind of how dating was back then. And I so wish it was like that today. I think young people rob themselves of that experience. They get serious so quickly today, and and they're not emotionally equipped to handle those types of serious relationships at an early age. So I think when you're young, you should go out and date and have a good time and meet multiple people and get to know multiple people. And again, you rob yourself when you don't do that. With regards to relationships, so I think everybody wants to be in a relationship. You want someone to love you and someone you can love, and that's a good thing. I think even though I'm divorced now, I'd love to get married again and and find the person I want to share the rest of my life with. But I'm okay in the meantime until that person comes into my life. Going out occasionally or just being by myself, I'm fine with that. I think we all, and including me, go through those periods like, oh, I wish I had someone. I miss, that someone you can wake up to and just be there with. And, ideally, I think, in a when you're in the right relationship, and I've said this before to a few friends of mine, is you can be in the same house with that person and you don't have to talk, you don't have to be up underneath each other, but just knowing that person is there is a comfort. You can be the maddest that you've ever been at them, where you, at that moment, you can't stand them. But in the same respect, you can't imagine your life without them. Um, you know, again, I picture, just being you can be in the same room, one person reading, each of you reading something, a paper or a book, and not talk and be okay with that. So, and be at peace with each other. So, I think everybody wants that type of relationship, where you have that comfort, and you have passion in that relationship, where you have that overwhelming feeling of love and wanting to be with that person, and they make you feel a certain way. You have moments where they're your friend and you want to tell them everything, and you have moments where you're those romantic moments where you just want to, gaze into each other's eyes and it's like, I can't believe this person's in my life. So, I think those are all different phases of when you're in a relationship. I think you go through those different types of phases. I think you have to work to keep a relationship good, in that, the things you did to get that person are the things you need to do to keep that person. Same respect with how you were when you got together. You should maintain that when you're with that person. Don't get so comfortable that you feel like you can look any kind of way, because we all are visual creatures. For if you can see, you're a visual creature. So you want to find the person you're with physically attractive, as well as have those other connections with them. It's not all about looks, not at all. But you do want to find that person physically attractive, as well as having that emotional and even spiritual connection with them. So, I think you should keep that in mind with regards to that. I think you should never rush into a relationship just because you don't want to be by yourself, or because you're unhappy with your life, or because you're struggling financially. Those are not good reasons to get in a relationship at all, ever. You have to be happy with yourself. You have to love yourself and be happy with yourself in order for a relationship to work. It's okay to want someone who has something, or who has goals, or is working towards something. But if the primary reason you're trying to be with someone is because of what they have or what they can do for you, it's not going to work. You're not being fair to that person. But you also have to come to the table with your own goals and your own, especially, unfortunately, I still see a lot of women today, even though there's a lot of women who have their own and do for themselves, there's still a lot of women I see who go after or want to be. You see this guy who he may not have much, but he has a good heart. He's a good person. He treats you like a queen. And he will love you if given the opportunity, the way you deserve to be loved. And then you have this guy over here who has money and a car, and he's talking about what he can do for you, and he's buying you this and buying you that, and you migrate to that other guy instead of the one who truly will love you the way you deserve to be loved. Don't be superficial, because when you get into those type of relationships where it's all about what someone can do for you, it's destined to fail, and you're not going to be happy in the end, and they're not going to be happy. They're going to get tired of being used. They may not want to admit it to themselves in the beginning, but they know why you're there. They know you're there because of what you can. What they can do for you. And in the same respect, if you're the person who's doing for someone, open your eyes and realize they're the only reason they're with you is because what you can do for them. So if you are not able to, if you're no longer able to do for them, where does that leave you? You know, if you're afraid that they're going to leave you because let's say you lose your job, or you lose your money, or you have this major thing in your life where you're not able to take care of them anymore, then why are you with them? So I just urge you to think about that, man or woman, think about that when you're thinking about getting in relationships with people. So and also I think, at least when you're young, you're easily influenced by what people say. I think you have to be careful, because there are people out there who don't have your best interests at heart, and they will say everything that you want to hear. But be careful, take your time, get to know that person, because a lot of times it is just to get you in the bed, or to get what they can from you, whether it's physically, emotionally, or financially, So take your time. Don't be rushed into giving yourself, whether it's money or body, to someone just because they're saying all the right things, So don't be pressured into that. If you don't do this, then you don't love me. Don't fall for that. And if you've been in relationships where you've been used, or you've been played or lied to, or what have you, then take the time to take a look at that and see what you did to contribute to allow yourself to be in that position, and not do it again. Because if you keep repeating that same cycle and allowing yourself to be in those positions, you have no one to blame but yourself. You cannot blame the other person. Oh, they did this to me. No, you allowed yourself, you allowed that to happen to you. You allowed yourself to be in that position. The first time, okay, it was a mistake. You didn't know, you weren't wise to it. But after the first time, if you keep finding yourself in the exact same situations, stop it. Look at yourself, because the common denominator is you. What are you doing that brings those people into your life? What are you doing to allow people to treat you that way? What are you doing to say it's okay to do what you want to me, to hurt me, to use me, to do whatever? And then change it. Change that. Don't allow that. Respect yourself. Respect, and if you have kids, respect your kids not to keep having this, this woman or this man in and out of your life who's treating you wrong, or multiple men and women. When you have kids, that takes relationships to a whole different level. When you're by yourself, okay, fine, you want to put up with a bunch of stuff and guff and, being mistreated and things like that. But when you have kids, all bets are off. You have to respect yourself enough to say, I will not put up with this. I will not allow my child to think this is how a woman is to be treated. This is how a man is to be treated. This is how a woman is supposed to treat a man. This is how a man is supposed to treat a woman when it's negative. So, when, like I said, when kids, I myself have no patience at all for people who allow themselves to be mistreated and abused and misused and taken advantage of when they have children. Because when you have children, you may not have loved yourself to do what's best for you when it was just you, but you have to love yourself to do what's best for you and those children when you have children. So, and the other thing is don't give up on a relationship so easily. when things do become difficult, now I'm not talking about when it's an abusive relationship or things like that, because I think when it's an abusive relationship, you don't put up with that. But, every relationship is going to hit bumps in the road. You might do something they don't like. They might do something you don't like. Be able to talk through it. Be able to try to work through it. But what you have to learn is when you say you forgive that person and you're moving on and you're moving, you're moving on and moving forward, then you cannot keep bringing that back up. And I know I've said this in another video, is that when you say it's over and it's done with, it needs to be over and done with. One of the thing I cannot stand is when you've talked things through and you agree that, okay, I may not necessarily agree with what you're saying, but I love you enough to know that what I did hurt you and upset you, and I will not do that again, and I commit that to you, and vice versa. It's over. We're going to put this, aside, and we're going to learn from it and move on. The next time you get into an argument, you cannot bring that back up. If you say it's done, it's done. Don't revisit it. That's the worst thing you can do in a relationship, or one of the worst things, not the worst, but one of the worst, is when you say something's over and you keep beating someone up over something that supposedly you're done with in your past. Then, it's not going to work. It's going to destroy the relationship as well. So, I would caution you with that as well. So, but in the long run, I hope that you all find someone that you can love and who will love you the way you deserve to be loved, and that you are happy, and that you have someone of quality. And when I say of quality, again, it's not about what they may have, but materialistically, but what they have internally, emotionally, the goals they have, the things they're working toward. They're not just a talker, they're a doer. You can build a future with this person, and they're treating you like you're, with respect, and when they look at you, you feel the love they have for you, even when they're angry with you, So, I hope and wish that you guys find that. I hope and wish that you don't settle for anything less than that, because you truly deserve to be happy. You truly deserve to have someone who's going to love you and honor you and respect you and be there for you no matter what. And you have to do that for them as well. So, and if you can't do that for them, if you're not loving them the way they deserve to be loved, and you're not there for them the way they deserve to have someone there for them, if you care anything about them, let them go. Let them go find someone who will be all that for them. Love them enough to do that. And that, I guess that's my view on dating and relationships, and a little bit on love too. So I hope that you find that useful, and hopefully in the future I'm around to talk to you more about it if you have any questions. But if not, hopefully you take a little bit from this. So, alright, loved ones, talk to you soon when I make my next blog, and I wish you the best. Love you. Bye.